Did you realize that your inner mind already identifies the partner of your life before your awake thoughts even notice it? Carl Jung, a very smart thinker in history, found something that will totally shift your perspective on romance. And let me caution you now, what you are about to discover might make you think twice about all your past and current bonds. It might even show why you have felt that odd sense of being empty in links that look ideal on paper. There is an unseen power, a tucked-away blueprint in your inner self that works like a space magnet pulling toward you the exact human you need to finish your journey of becoming whole. Jung called this the anima and animus, and this power is active in your world right now as you scan these lines, guiding every choice you make about passion without you even grasping it. But here is the troubling part. Most folks overlook these hints because they are too occupied chasing what they believe they want instead of seeing what their spirit truly requires. And when I mention spirit, I do not mean the basic fairy tales of cinema. I am talking about something much more profound and life-altering, something that can modify the very core of your character. For over 40 years of looking at the human spirit, Jung noted habits that came up over and over in his patients. He found that those who discovered genuine affection, the kind that truly shifted their lives, went through certain clear clues that most people missed or took the wrong way. These are not just luck or storybook dreams, but actual proof of deep, ancient energies working in the most basic parts of our heads. The first hint that you have met the partner of your life is something Jung called the sparking of your inner twin. This goes way past what basic advice calls a good match. Inside every man there lives an inner female side, which Jung named the anima. And inside every woman there lives an inner male side, the animus. These are not vague thoughts drifting in the sky, but actual energies seen through body and chemical shifts that guide every one of your picks about romance. Jung found that a man's anima grows mainly through his early times with vital female figures like his mother. But it does not end with that first look. It grows through life, gathering bits from all important times with women. The animus in women follows a matching but flipped path, growing mainly through times with male figures. When you encounter the partner of your life, something amazing occurs on a brain level. This person naturally and without effort sparks your anima or animus. I am not talking about basic physical draw that goes away after a few weeks. I am talking about a deep echo that happens in the lowest floors of your being, in those spots of the brain that Jung called the shared inner world. You feel as if this person wakes up parts of you that you never knew were there. All at once, you start to show sides of your personality that have been resting for years, maybe even decades. A man might find a soft feeling side he pushed away since he was a boy. A woman might find a solid power and lead ability she never knew she had. Have you seen that some people can spend months or even years with you without you ever feeling that they really see you? They might stand you, maybe even care for you in a way, but there is an unseen wall that never breaks down. While with others from the very first talk, you feel a strange closeness, as if you have been waiting your whole life for this second, as if you have finally returned home after a long trip through strange lands. That is not luck or a dreamy thought. It is your anima or animus seeing its perfect match, the missing bit of your inner puzzle. Jung saw that in this second, parts of the brain linked with deep memories get busy, as if we are recalling something we had long misplaced. But be careful, because here comes something vital that most people ignore. This start does not always feel good at first. In fact, it can be very shaky. Jung found that when our lowest parts are brushed, we go through what he called a mental shift. This means that your whole inner setup fixes itself to hold this new power. It is as if someone walked into your mental home and started moving the chairs without asking you. You might feel a strange blend of wonder and worry, as if this person has the strength to change you in ways you cannot rule or guess. And this is exactly where you must look closely. True passion, the partner of your life, does not leave you the same. It changes you on a very deep level. This shift is not a choice. You cannot have only the nice parts of this spark. It is a full set that also includes the rattling of character ways you thought were set in stone. Jung warned that many folks run away at just this moment, scared of the power of the change to come. The second clue is tightly tied to what Jung saw as the most vital part of mental growth, the blending of the shadow. We all have a shadow. That part of ourselves we have hidden, said no to, or pushed away because it does not fit the face we want to show the world. The shadow holds not only our bad sides, but also our unused skills, our tucked-away gifts, our quiet desires, and our most basic urges. During his long years of study, Jung found something amazing. The shadow does not go away when we ignore it. It grows more solid, more harmful, and starts to mess up our bonds from the inner mind. Most couple fights, based on Jung, are not really about the small things being argued over. They are about unblended shadow bits being cast onto the other person. When you meet the partner of your life, something occurs that most bonds never reach. This person can see your shadow without fleeing from it. Even more, in a secret way, they help you bring your shadow into your awake character in a healthy way. They do not judge you for your dark sides. They do not try to fix or change you. They simply take the whole of your being with a grasp that goes past all logic. Have you ever been with someone with whom you felt you could be totally yourself, even in your dark or hard spots? I am not talking about someone who just puts up with your weak points. I mean someone who in a strange way turns those weak points into power, or at least sees them in a totally new light. For example, your habit of being too picky, which has ruined past bonds, suddenly becomes a helpful skill for fixing things. Your hard-headedness, which others saw as a bad trait, turns out to be great drive when aimed toward good goals. Your high feeling, which has caused you so much hurt, becomes a great tool for knowing others. Jung said that true growth, the path of becoming who you really are, needs the blending of the shadow. And here sits the secret that can shift your life. The partner of your life acts like a special mirror that lets you see your shadow not as something to be tossed out, but as something to be grasped, taken in, and shifted. But watch out. This also means that this person will always test your ego. They will face you not in a mean way, but in a path that forces you to look at parts of yourself you would rather keep out of sight. If someone in your life does this naturally and with care without becoming your foe, you should pay attention. This could be one of the clearest hints of true passion. This facing does not feel like an attack. It is a call to grow, to stretch, and to become a bigger version of yourself. Jung noted that fights in such deep bonds do not break the tie, but make it deeper because both people know they are part of a holy path of growing together. The third clue is maybe the most secret and strong of all: synchronicity. Jung built this idea after years of seeing that certain events with no link seem to be tied by more than just luck. He named synchronicity as meaningful matches that point to a deeper plan in the world, a plan that goes past the rules of cause and effect. When it comes to the partner of your life, these matches grow fast and take on very complex and unlikely shapes. I am not talking about basic luck like a random hello in the same shop. I mean an arranged string of seemingly impossible events that work together to bring you to each other in a way that beats all logical reasoning. Jung wrote down cases where his patients felt chains of events so complex that he figured the math chance of them being random. In some cases, the odds were 1 in many millions. These could be repeating meetings in spots where neither person should have been, links through third people who had no clue you were meant to meet, or even dreams and gut feelings that showed up in real life with spooky precision. Yet matches tied to the partner of your life have certain marks that set them apart from normal luck. First, they tend to get stronger during times of trouble or big choices in the bond. Second, they often use signs or pictures that hold deep personal meaning for both folks. Third, they often have bits that seem to come from totally outside places not tied to your awake life. Jung felt that these matches are signs that we are in step with our own path, with what he called the true self, the biggest and most real version of who we are. When you feel a chain of matches spinning around a certain person, your inner self is sending you a loud note. This person plays a main part in your growth path. Have you seen that with some folks? Matches happen almost all the time, as if the world itself is busy working to keep you tied together, making meetings that go past any plan, as though a higher mind runs events to make sure your paths keep crossing. But here is the cool part. These matches do not stop once you are together. Instead, they get stronger and grow into quieter but just as strong forms. You start to feel what Jung called a shared spirit, a mental tie that goes past the logic of modern science. You might often have the same thought at the identical time, way more often than math could explain. You might have similar or matching dreams without talking about them before. You might have gut feelings about each other's mood that turn out to be perfectly right, as if you share a kind of joint feeling radar. Jung wrote about couples far apart who both felt body pains when the other was in danger or hurt. This is not just dreaming or guessing, but real things that Jung studied closely over decades. This shared spirit is not being needy. It is something much deeper. It is as if you have found a joint channel that lets you feel each other on levels that go past normal talk or touch. The fourth hint is closely tied to what Jung saw as the top win of his work, the universal patterns of the shared inner world. Based on Jung, inside each of us live global habits of acting and feeling that we share with all people. These patterns include figures like the lover, the wise one, the fighter, the mother, the father, the child, the joker, and many others. Jung found that most people use only a small slice of the patterns they have. This creates a steady sense of being half-finished, as if we are playing only a few tools in a big band. Life feels small and the same, as though we are always playing one part without the full list of our human self. When you find the partner of your life, you find that this person works like a master key that at once and in tune wakes up many patterns inside you. They wake up not just your lover, but can also wake up your inner wise one, your caring guard, your brave explorer, your making artist, or any other side that needs to build for your full growth. This shows up in very solid and seen ways. You might become more bold than you ever thought, more kind to others, more creative in your work, smarter in your choices, or more fun in your daily life. Not because you are acting a part or trying to be someone else, but because their being there truly wakes up hidden powers inside your mental frame. Jung noted that in truly deep bonds, both partners work as sparks for the blooming of each other's highest parts. It is as if each of you holds the secret code to open the tucked-away wealth of the other. Wealth that has been shut away for years or even decades. Have you ever been with someone around whom you feel like your top self without having to try? Not because you want to show off, but because their mere presence brings out parts of your character you did not know were there, like a piano that has finally found the player who can hit all its keys. This pattern waking has big effects on your daily life. Your making power grows, your lead gets solid, your gut feel gets sharp, your humor shifts, Your grit to face trials goes up. It is as if this person has lit up rooms in your character that had stayed dark for years. But the deepest side of this is that this pattern waking is shared. Not only does this person bring out the top in you, you have the same change effect on them. Together, you make a mental power field that lets both of you become more whole and real versions of yourselves. Jung saw that couples who feel this joint waking often build skills that neither had alone. Their joint brain power beats the sum of their single minds. Their shared making power goes past what either could do alone. Their skill to fix problems, get past hard times, and make beauty in the world grows by a lot. The fifth and last sign is maybe the most vital and life-changing of all. The clear feeling that with this person, you are living your own story. Jung felt that every human is born with a one-of-a-kind story, a deep pattern that gives our being sense and goal. This story is not a tale we make up. It is a deep habit coming from the shared inner world that guides our growth from birth to death. Most folks live their lives without truly linking to this story. They move through life as if they were actors in a play whose full script they never got. They know they are on stage, they know they must act, but they do not truly grasp the bigger tale they are in. When the partner of your life shows up, suddenly everything starts to make sense in a way that goes past head knowledge. This person does not just fit into your tale. Their presence makes your tale richer, more full, and more whole. It is as if until now you had only lived half of your story, and now you can finally see the whole book. Jung saw that when two people find this story echo, they feel what he called the union of opposites. It is not about being twins or having no gaps. It is about your gaps fitting each other in a way that makes something bigger than the sum of your parts. This does not mean that your old life had no value. It means that all your past times, including your lowest pains, your biggest flops, and your top wins, suddenly turn out to be needed chapters that made you ready for this meeting. Every hurt becomes wisdom. Every loss shows itself as getting ready for something better. Every time of being alone makes sense as the time when you built the inner power needed for this link. Jung called this the path of becoming whole, the track of becoming who you are truly meant to be. He noted that for most people, this path hits its top through the meeting with what he called the vital other, the person who works as a spark for the full opening of your power. Have you ever felt that your life with a certain person takes on a deeper, almost magic meaning? As if all the messy bits of your times suddenly fit into a clear and pretty shape. As if this person were not just a plus to your life, but the missing puzzle part that finishes your being. But there is something key to grasp here, something that parts those who are truly ready for the partner of their life from those who keep looking for thin copies. Seeing these hints needs a level of self-sight and heart truth that most people stay away from. It is much easier to stay on the top and look at simple common things like shared hobbies, looks, money, or what others think than to sink into the deep parts of a link. Jung warned that most folks run from true love because it asks for too much growth, too much change, and too much truth about who one really is under the busy social masks. Deep love, the partner of your life, does not let you stay tiny, cozy, or hidden. It always tests you to grow, to face your shadows, and to blend parts of yourself you would rather keep apart and under rule. This kind of love needs letting go of the dream of ruling your life and who you are. It needs trust in paths that go past your head logic. It needs faith in shifts you cannot direct. Are you truly set for such a level of shift? Are you ready for someone to see all your soft spots, all your flaws, all your lowest fears, and for their care for you not to drop but to sink deeper because of it? Are you ready to do the same for another human? Because if these 5 hints are now in your life, do not brush them off out of fear or habit for known but tight ways. Your inner self is trying to tell you something deep about your path. It is trying to show you a track toward a version of yourself you did not even know was a thing. Jung did not see passion as a passing mood or quick feeling that comes and goes based on outside things. He saw it as a deep power, a shifting energy with the strength to totally refix your mental setup and guide you toward the blooming of your highest self. This power follows rules that go past normal logic. It does not answer to trickery or rule. It cannot be pushed or made up. It can only be seen, honored, and taken in when it truly shows up in your life. Jung also saw something that might shock you. The deepest ties often start in ways that go against our usual romantic hopes. They can come from friends that slowly get deeper. They can show up from clear fights that reveal deeper shared ground. They can grow in spots where both people are totally looking at something else besides romance. Deep love rarely shows up with the big show we expect from films. Instead, it shows itself bit by bit, like a sunrise that slowly turns night into light. It takes time for the patterns to fully wake up, for matches to grow, for shadows to be blended in a good way. These 5 signs are not a promise that the bond will be easy or free of tests. On the contrary, Jung found that the deepest ties often have more fight, more growth, and more shift than thin bonds. But they also give something that no other human time can provide: the chance to become who you are truly meant to be through the waking of your inner twin, the healthy blending of your shadow, the growth of meaningful matches, the waking of many patterns, and the feeling of living your own story. These are the hints by which your inner self tells you that you have found something holy, something that goes past normal passion and leads into the area of spirit shift. Do not let the fear of growth cause you to say no to this chance. Do not let the cozy feel of the known stop you from taking the amazing. Do not let the voices of doubt, from inside or from others, talk you into thinking you deserve less than the deepest possible tie between 2 humans. Your spirit knows what you need for your path. Even when your awake mind is full of doubt, pushback, and fear, your soul sees the truth. Even when your ego holds on to known but tight ways, when you see these hints in your life, you stand before a big choice. You can ignore them and stay stuck in known ways that keep you in a smaller version of yourself. Or you can find the huge grit to step into the deepest shift a human can feel. Jung said that the meeting with true love is at its heart a meeting with the divine inside ourselves. The chance to feel the union of opposites, the fixing of the inner poles that have pulled us apart, and the blooming of the true self that stands for our most full wholeness. Your inner mind has long known the answer. Your soul has already seen what your brain tries hard to grasp and name, and the query that will decide the path of your life is this: will you have the grit to listen to this deeper wisdom and act, even if it goes against everything you thought you knew about love? The hints are there, waiting to be seen by someone bold enough to look past top looks. The patterns are awake, waiting to be blended by someone ready to grow past their old walls. The matches are flowing, ready to be followed by someone who trusts the wisdom of the world. Your own story is opening, ready to be fully lived by someone who takes the call of their highest path. The partner of your life is not just a person who fits into your current days. They are a door to the most real, full, and strong version of yourself. One you could never have dreamed of without this shifting time. But how do you know if you are truly walking this path or just getting lost in a dream? Jung believed that the journey toward the love of your life requires a special kind of internal work. This next phase is where the real challenge begins, because once you recognize the signs, the universe demands that you take action. It is not enough to simply find the person. You must become the person capable of holding such a powerful connection. Most people fail here because they expect the relationship to save them, when in reality, it is there to wake them up. This waking up process often feels like a fire that burns away the parts of you that are no longer true. Jung observed that as the relationship progresses, the synchronicities often lead to what he called the dark night of the ego. This is the moment when the honeymoon phase ends and the archetypal mirror starts showing you the things you have spent your whole life hiding. You might find yourself feeling more vulnerable than ever before. You might worry that if they see the real you, they will leave. But this is the ultimate test of the personal myth. In this phase, the shared energy between two people creates a container strong enough to handle the truth. Jung noted that couples who survive this stage begin to develop a shared language that no one else understands. They start to move in a rhythm that seems guided by a force outside of themselves. Have you ever felt that as your bond grows, your external world also starts to shift? Maybe your career suddenly takes a new turn, or you find the courage to leave old, toxic habits behind. This is because the union of your inner anima and animus is finally reflecting in your outer reality. Your partner is no longer just a person, they have become a companion on a journey toward the center of your soul. Jung taught that the goal of this journey is not just happiness, but wholeness. Happiness comes and goes, but wholeness is a solid foundation that can withstand any storm. When you reach this level of connection, you realize that the love of your life was not a destination you reached, but a gateway you walked through to finally meet yourself. As the link between two people gets even deeper, it moves into a stage that Jung called the sacred marriage. This is not about a ceremony or a piece of paper, but about a solid inner union where the two of you stop being separate islands and start to function as a single spiritual force. In this phase, the power of your shared story begins to overflow and affect the world around you. Jung noticed that when a couple reaches this level of wholeness, they often become a source of healing or inspiration for others. Their mere presence in a room can make other people feel more grounded or hopeful. This happens because you have moved past the small needs of the ego and are now living from the center of your shared soul. However, this deep stage brings a new kind of responsibility. Jung warned that at this point, you must be careful not to get lost in the other person. While you are unified, you must also remain distinct. This is the great paradox of deep passion. You are more one than ever, yet you are also more your own person than ever before. You support each other's personal goals and growth with a quiet confidence, knowing that the bond is strong enough to handle space and time apart. The fear of losing the other person starts to fade away, replaced by a deep knowing that you are tied together at a level that death itself cannot touch. You begin to see your partner not just as a lover, but as a fellow traveler who has been with you across many lifetimes of the mind. In the final years of his study, Jung looked at how these bonds behave as we grow old. He found that for couples who have done the hard work of blending their shadows and waking their patterns, the later stages of life become a time of great light. While the body may slow down, the mental spark between the two people grows even brighter. They communicate through silence as much as through words. They have reached a state where the boundaries between me and you have become thin and transparent. This is the true end goal of the individuation path. It is the proof that love is not just a human feeling, but a cosmic bridge that connects our temporary lives to something eternal and infinite.